Some delays are not from the enemy. They're from God, because if He gave it to you now, it would destroy you. What if the thing you're begging God for is the very thing He's protecting you from? Everyone talks about God's timing, but nobody talks about how painful it feels to live inside it. You prayed, you prepared, you did everything right, and still, nothing moved. Others started after you and somehow passed you, and now you're left wondering, did I miss God? Am I doing something wrong? Or did God forget me? Let me tell you something most people won't. God delays on purpose, not to punish you, not to tease you, but to save you from a version of success you're not ready to survive yet. I know someone who prayed for a breakthrough job for years. Not casually, desperately. They asked God for growth, for provision, for proof that the waiting meant something. And then it happened. The call came. Higher pay, better title, respect they had never known. It felt like answered prayer. But 6 months later, they were exhausted in a way sleep couldn't fix, anxious in rooms they once begged to enter, successful on paper, but hollow inside. Why? Because the position demanded leadership they hadn't learned yet, emotional discipline they hadn't developed, boundaries they didn't know how to enforce. They said yes to everything because they were still trying to prove they belonged. The job didn't destroy them. The timing did. If it had come 1 year later, after growth, after correction, after God stripped away the need for approval, it would have been a blessing. Instead, it became a burden. Here's the uncomfortable truth no one likes to say out loud. God doesn't just prepare opportunities, He prepares people. And when preparation is skipped, even good things become heavy. What if the delay has nothing to do with the thing you're waiting for and everything to do with who you'd be if it arrived today? What if God isn't withholding, but refining? Because delays don't just test patience, they expose attachments. Your need to be seen, your fear of being left behind, your belief that arrival equals worth. Some doors stay closed because if they opened right now, you'd walk in carrying the wrong heart. And the wrong heart ruins good things. It turns blessings into idols, opportunities into pressure, provision into pride or fear. God delays because He loves you too much to give you something that would damage you in your current state. The Bible reminds us, though the vision tarries, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay. Habakkuk 2:3. Notice the tension in that verse. It tarries, but it is not late. It feels delayed to you because you measure time by desire. God measures time by readiness. Delay teaches you to obey without applause, to trust without clarity, to grow without evidence. It teaches you how to hold a blessing without letting it define you. Because if God gave you everything you asked for before He shaped you, you wouldn't steward it. You'd cling to it. And God doesn't bless desperation. He matures it. That's why some of the longest waits produce the strongest people. Not because waiting is magical, but because it removes what can't go with you. So if you're frustrated by the delay, ask yourself this: what is God trying to remove before He releases what I'm asking for? Because what feels like God saying not yet is often Him saying, I love you too much to rush this.
Have you ever looked back at a relationship you begged God for and quietly thanked Him for the silence? At the time, it felt personal, like God ignored your tears, like He let something good slip away. You replayed the conversations. You questioned yourself. You wondered if you prayed wrong, or if you were simply not enough. But time has a way of revealing what emotions hide. Later, you noticed the cracks you once called chemistry, the red flags you excused as potential, the immaturity you were willing to mother, the compromises you were preparing to make just to be chosen. God didn't block that relationship to wound your heart. He blocked it to preserve your future. Because that relationship would have cost you more than love. It would have cost you your peace, your standards, and slowly, your identity. Some delays are not God saying no. They are God stepping in and saying, not like this, not yet, not at this cost. What you called rejection was actually intervention. What you felt as loss was God refusing to let you build a future on a foundation that couldn't hold you. And here's the part we rarely admit. You weren't ready either. Not because you weren't worthy, but because growth was still happening in you. Here's the thought that changes everything. What if God answered that prayer immediately and it destroyed you quietly? What if the money came before the discipline to manage it? What if the platform came before the humility to survive it? What if the marriage came before the healing you kept postponing? What if the blessing arrived before you had the strength to protect it? We assume delay means disinterest, but sometimes delay is God saying, I see where this leads, and you don't. God doesn't delay because he's unsure. He delays because he sees the full picture. And some things are too important to hand over to a version of you that hasn't finished forming yet. The Bible says, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1. Timing is not punishment. Timing is precision. God isn't withholding your future. He's protecting it from being damaged by the present. He's not slow. He's not careless. He's not ignoring you. He's preparing you so that when the answer comes, it doesn't become a burden you regret. Because the worst thing God could do is give you something holy while you are still unready to handle it.
Most people celebrate the crown. They rarely study the cave. David didn't step from the pasture to the palace. He stepped into exile. Hunted by a king he refused to fight, sleeping in places that didn't match the promise, anointed but still overlooked. God had already chosen him, but God wasn't finished shaping him. Joseph dreamed of greatness, but destiny took him the long way. Betrayed by his own brothers, sold like a product, forgotten in a prison where every day looked like a mistake. The dream was real, the delay was intentional. Even Jesus, the Son of God, waited 30 years for a ministry that lasted 3. 30 years of silence, 30 years of obscurity, 30 years of obedience without recognition. If heaven delayed them, why would your story be rushed? Delay isn't denial, it's preparation you don't get to skip. The Bible reminds us, though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Habakkuk 2:3. What feels late to you is right on time to God. Waiting reveals things success hides. Success can distract you. Delay exposes you. It reveals who you trust when nothing changes. It reveals whether you obey when no one is watching. It reveals if God is truly your source or just a solution you call when options run out. Because it's easy to praise God when prayers are answered quickly. It's harder to stay faithful when silence stretches longer than expected. Some people don't want God, they want results. They want the breakthrough without the breaking, the platform without the process,
the promise without the pruning. But God doesn't hand influence to a heart He hasn't healed. That's why the delay feels heavy. It's not empty time, it's holy time. God is removing impatience, stripping entitlement, exposing idols you didn't know you had. Because if He gave you everything too soon, you might lose yourself trying to keep it. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that He may lift you up in due time. 1 Peter 5:6. Notice the order: humility first, elevation later. Some delays aren't about readiness, they're about safety. God delays the promise because your character is still catching up to the calling. And the version of you that's impatient now wouldn't survive what you're asking for. So God waits, not to punish you, but to protect you. What if this season has nothing to do with doors opening and everything to do with doors closing? Not external doors, internal ones. The habits you keep returning to, the patterns you keep excusing, the shortcuts that feel harmless until you're back in the same place, asking the same questions with the same emptiness. What if God is delaying this not because He's withholding something from you, but because He's protecting something in you? Because the blessing you're asking for would collapse you if it arrived before you were ready to carry it. You keep praying, when will it happen? When will it change? When will you move? But God keeps asking a quieter question. Who are you becoming while you wait? Because timing doesn't just reveal what you receive, it reveals who you are when you receive it. Some cycles don't break because the situation changed. They break because you did. And some prayers stay unanswered, not because God is silent, but because answering them too early would lock you into a version of yourself God is trying to heal. What looks like delay may actually be restraint. What feels like being overlooked may be divine containment. God is not slow, He is precise, and He refuses to promote what hasn't been purified. You don't just need the door to open, you need the capacity to walk through it without turning it into another burden. Because if God gives you the next level without changing the old patterns, you'll recreate the same pain with better scenery. So this season is not empty, it's instructional. It's not quiet, it's corrective. It's not wasting time, it's removing what would sabotage you later. If this message unsettled you, don't numb it. Conviction is uncomfortable because it demands a response. Most people will feel this moment, then scroll, distract, and return to noise. But there's another story you need to hear next about people who rushed God, who received what they asked for before they were prepared to hold it. They got the blessing and lost themselves in the process. The next video on your screen isn't easy. It won't hype you, it won't comfort you, but it might finally explain why God has been saying, "Not yet." Watch it not for motivation, but for clarity.